daily game plan for success. It's Sachs in the Morning. Steve Sachs.
Hi, Steve Sachs here with Sachs in the Morning. Today is Tuesday, the 10th of January. We're talking about Opportunity Week. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about opportunities that are in our lives, that they really are, dressed up as an obstacle. Sometimes we have to decipher and peel back the onion a little bit and figure that out. Yesterday, we featured things about Doris Day and what she went through in her life. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about some opportunities that can be kind of draped in distraction. And when there's draped in distraction, you really got to pick through and decipher just really what it is that you're looking at here. Because sometimes people like to prey on us. Sometimes people like to put things in front of us that get us all excited and made us go for it. And then pretty soon you understand that it was just a distraction for some other reason. So that's an important thing to watch out for. Let's talk a little bit about how distractions can look like opportunities, but they turn out not to be. Well, I can tell you that earlier in my life, I was young and playing baseball, and at a young age, I was bestowed about a pretty good deal of money. And so I had to invest that money wisely to, make sure that this thing was a lifelong thing for me. It just wasn't something that was going to last for a few years. And so I was with different people, different business partners. And I can tell you that a lot of the times it isn't what you think. And not to be a negative Nelly out there, but there's people out there that will tell you just what you want to hear in order to get a foothold over you. And so, heck, after my divorce, my wife and I had to go and we had to sue a guy that we were both working with. We had to get some of the investments back that were faulty, no good investments that we didn't need. And it was just a crazy thing because we both knew this person and we thought he was doing what was best for us, and turned out he wasn't. So that's one of the things you're going to have to ask yourself. Is this right for you, or is it right for somebody else? So, a couple other things I want to ask you questions about too. Is it draining or is it invigorating? Think about that, because anything you do in your life is going to take energy. Energy is a basic form in all forms of action, both physical and mental, and it's going to drain you or it's going to be invigorating for you. So if you're getting into something, some kind of a business, some kind of an opportunity you think is going to be great, you just may have to check yourself and ask yourself that right there. Is this draining my thought and my physical energy, or is this something that is making me better? That's one way that you can see if it's going to be good for you. Another thing is, plainly on its face, does this seem too good to be true? I recently had to ask myself that question on several business things and found out, these things seem to be too good to be true. So I'm going to distance myself from this. So that's another question that you're going to have to ask yourself. Also, make sure you're taking time to recharge. Anytime that you put some energy into something, it's going to take a lot out of you. So you got to make sure you take time to recharge. However you do that, a small vacation, time's away, you got to find a way to recharge yourself. When we're talking about that, you have to make sure that you're taking time to recharge. Remember, when you're vulnerable is when you're tired. It's the same thing in sports. I mean, we'd be in spring training, and I remember we always used to talk to Tommy Lasorda about this. This guy, Tommy, just worked our tails off. I mean, we work all through spring training, all through the day. Then he'd turn the lights on and make us continue working at night. I mean, you're talking about 9-10 hours at the field, which was counterproductive. You know why? Because people get hurt. People get tired. And when you get tired and hurt, you're vulnerable. And that's not a good place to be. And we had 17 guys on the DL that year. And so it's not a productive thing. So remember, you're more likely to get taken advantage of when you're most vulnerable. When is that? When you're run down, you're tired, and you're ready to just do anything but make a wise decision. Sometimes that happens, and the people that prey on you know that. So make sure that you take time to recharge. Also, another thing that I think is really important, remember this, that leaders will make a decision quickly, but at the same time, they're going to be very slow to change it because they know when they feel it, and if they feel it, they're going to do it. And if they make that decision quickly, it's something that they're not going to just blow off later and say, no, I didn't make the right decision. No, they trust that instinct to make that decision. So their changes are going to be very, very slow. And that's the one great thing about leadership. Just remember one thing. And when it comes down to the brass tacks of things, here's the best way to do it. It's better to do one thing really well than a bunch of things that are just mediocre. And that's my short for today. If you like what you heard, give us a positive review, subscribe, and share. Also, remember that the Sachs in the Morning swag is now available on my Instagram site. Go to SaxInTheMorning_podcast. You'll see it right there on the Instagram, and just hit the link. Everything's there. Mugs, hats, tumblers, you name it. Take advantage of it.